Whether you recently qualified as a teacher abroad or have taught in your home country for several years, moving to Canada can open a whole new world of opportunities for you. In this article, we explore immigration programs you can leverage to immigrate to Canada as a teacher, the provincial teaching certification process, and in-demand teaching jobs in Canada. Reasons to move to Canada as a teacher. Newcomers from across the globe choose to immigrate to Canada in search of a better quality of life and more lucrative opportunities. As an internationally trained teacher, Canada can be an attractive country to settle. Teaching in Canada requirements for foreign teachers. You will need to acquire several vital documentation, particularly regarding your qualifications, in order to move to Canada as a teacher. 1. Qualified degree, diploma, or certificate. If you hold a foreign credential, you must first determine whether it is recognized in Canada. 1. If your degree, diploma, or certificate is recognized, you may need an Educational Credential Assessment, ECA, which certifies that it is legitimate and meets Canadian criteria. 2. Provincial Teaching Certificate. You'll also need a provincial teaching certificate and a license, both of which you'll get by joining a teachers' association in your selected province or territory. 3. Issue date of a Police Background Clearance Certificate, Enhanced Disclosure Scotland, DBS, is less than 6 months. 4. Canada's Immigration Service issues work visas and, if necessary, residence permits. 5. For the province of Quebec, fluency in English or French is required. 6. 2 positive references from current or previous employment in the field of education. Becoming a certified teacher in Canada as an international teacher involves several steps, including obtaining the necessary qualifications, applying for teaching certification, finding a job, and securing the required visas and work permits. Here is a step-by-step guide to help you through the process. Step 1. Determine eligibility. Before you begin, it's essential to ensure you meet the basic eligibility requirements to teach in Canada. 1. A bachelor's degree or higher in education or a related field. 2. A valid teaching license or certification from your home country. 3. Proficiency in English or French, depending on the province you want to teach in. 3. You may need to provide proof of language proficiency through standardized tests like IELTS or CELPIT. Example, you are a citizen of Ghana with a bachelor's degree in education and a valid teaching license from your home country. You are proficient in English and have a minimum IELTS score of 6.5. Step 2. Research provincial requirements. Teaching certification requirements vary by province or territory in Canada. You should research the specific requirements for the province where you plan to teach. The most common provinces for international teachers are Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, and Quebec. Example, you want to teach in Ontario, so you research the Ontario College of Teachers, OCT, website to understand their specific requirements. Step 3. Credential Assessment. You may need to have your educational credentials and teaching qualifications assessed by a recognized Canadian Credential Evaluation Service. This assessment will determine if your qualifications are equivalent to Canadian standards. Example, you submit your academic transcripts, teaching certification, and other relevant documents to a Credential Evaluation Service recommended by October. They evaluate your credentials and determine that they meet Canadian standards. Examples of credentials evaluation outfits include World Education Services, Comparative Education Service, International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, International Qualifications Assessment Service, International Credential Evaluation Service. You can do all this online. Step 4. Upgrade your qualifications, if necessary. If your qualifications do not meet Canadian standards, you may need to take additional courses or exams to bridge the gap. This could include completing a teacher education program in Canada. Example, If your credential assessment reveals a deficiency in certain subjects or teaching methods, you may need to take additional courses or exams in Canada to meet the requirements. For instance, you may need to complete a teaching practicum. Step 5. Apply for teaching certification. Once you have met the provincial requirements, you can apply for teaching certification in the specific province you intend to teach. This often involves submitting an application, paying fees, and providing the necessary documentation. Example, after fulfilling the requirements, you complete the OCT application form, pay the necessary fees, and submit your credential assessment report and other supporting documents. OCT reviews your application and, if approved, issues you a teaching certificate. Step 6. Job search. Start looking for teaching job opportunities in Canada. You can use online job boards, contact schools directly, or work with recruitment agencies specializing in education. Ensure your resume/CV is tailored to the Canadian job market. Example, you start searching for teaching positions in Ontario or the province that issued you with the certification by using websites like the Ontario School Boards Association, OSBA, Job Board and teacher recruitment agencies specializing in the Ontario market or the exact province. Step 7. Obtain a job offer. To work legally in Canada, you'll need a job offer from a Canadian school or educational institution. The employer will typically assist you in the immigration and visa process. Example, after several interviews, a school board in Ontario offers you a teaching position. They provide you with a formal job offer letter, including details about your salary, responsibilities, and the school's location. Step 8. Apply for a work visa. To work in Canada, you will likely need a work permit or visa. The type of visa you need depends on your situation, but the most common for teachers is the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, or the International Mobility Program, IMP. You can apply for a work permit through the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, website. Example, with your job offer in hand, you apply for a work permit through the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, website. You provide your job offer letter, proof of your teaching certification, and other required documents. Step 9. Prepare for arrival. Before you move to Canada, make sure to 1. Secure housing and accommodations. 2. Arrange for healthcare coverage, either through your employer or the provincial healthcare system. 3. Familiarize yourself with Canadian education policies and procedures. Example, as you await your work permit approval, you research housing options near your new school, learn about Ontario's healthcare system, and read up on the Ontario Education Act to familiarize yourself with local education policies. Begin teaching. Example, once your work permit is approved, you arrive in Ontario, secure your accommodation, and attend an orientation session at your school. You start teaching according to the curriculum and guidelines established by the Ontario Ministry of Education. Note this. Please note that these are general examples, and the specific steps and requirements can vary depending on the province or territory in Canada where you plan to teach. Always refer to the relevant provincial teacher certification authority and immigration authorities for the most accurate and up-to-date information for your situation. Step 10. Begin teaching. Once you've completed all the necessary steps, you can start your teaching career in Canada. Ensure you follow all local regulations and maintain your teaching certification. The process may vary depending on the province and your specific circumstances.